Rob G, can we start with the Lions and Eagles on Sunday Night Football? Kind of a boring game.
It was.
Unless you like defense or a pitcher's duel or whatever. But it was kind of glaring about the Lions and just that really going into that gift field goal that they got at the end where Sirianni gave them a field goal. They had 6 points the entire game.
Yeah, it was rough, especially for one Kelvin Dub Washington, because he was very excited about this game, measuring stick for the Detroit Lions, Super Bowl bound, and then they just
didn't measure up.
No, they did not show up in any way, shape, or form.
It's funny, when we did our Pick'ems Friday, you weren't here. I was like, you weren't here? Ian was here. When he brought it up, they heard me go, because I didn't like this game for the Lions. The Eagles have mucked up every game this season. That's just what they do. And the Lions ain't the best when it comes to muck up ugly games. That's just not their thing. So I walked away from that not feeling great. But go ahead, Rob G.
Yeah, and especially if you are a fan of one Jared Goff. Now, Jared Goff is a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. Nope, been in the Super Bowl. One thing that you can say about him, though, is number one, he doesn't play well in cold weather. Stats show that. And number two, if you can get him off his spot, he becomes very mediocre. Last night against the Eagles, he completed just 38% of his throws, the lowest by any quarterback this season. That includes Justin Fields and Shedeur Sanders. We'll get to him later.
Which is crazy to be mentioned with those
horrible. It was also the worst completion percentage of his NFL career. Keep in mind, coming into Sunday, he's completing over 70% of his passes. It'll go from 70 to 38 is really bad. He was 0 of 12 passing when under pressure. The second most incompletions in the game in his career. The last quarterback to have 12 attempts and 0 completions under pressure, Blake Bortles in 2017. All bad for Jared Goff and the Lions.
Yeah, and the worst part about this for me, and I said this to Rob maybe when they 2 weeks ago lost to the Vikings. We were having this conversation, and I believe it now more than ever that the countdown has begun for Jared Goff. Not that he won't be a quality quarterback, as you mentioned, Rob. Not that he won't have a high completion percentage. That's what he does. But the idea that you can continue to think you're going to win a Super Bowl after about this season, maybe next, Rob, because right now they have an infrastructure built in, right? This is what we are. This is the system. This is it. So they're in a good place, still expecting to make the playoff. They made it harder on themselves yesterday. But I watched that game realizing, and I've mentioned it before, as we have other TVs going on here, right now they got the Chiefs and the Broncos. I'm looking at Bo Nix and I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes, both guys who can make some plays. I'm looking at other games that we got up here, both guys who can make plays with their feet. And Jared Goff, if you put the pressure on him, he is not able to do anything else. And he is the last of that Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Somebody's coming, I'm just going to drop down. That stand up in the pocket, can't do anything, is gone. And obviously the Eagles knew the blueprint. Bring the interior pressure, bring the defensive lineman on him, and he'll get rattled. And they even had Jalen Carter talked about, we knew if we blocked a few of his passes, he would even get rattled and get down on himself. So I watched that game saying, man, you can't be the last of the dying breed. He's the last of the I can't move in the pocket, I can't run. Because if you look at Bo Nix is not having an amazing season. Jackson Dart hasn't had an amazing season. But some of these guys are able to make game-winning plays here or there, Rob Parker, because they can get out the pocket. Or if the play breaks down, they can go pick up that first down, right? And it's not that they're having 285 yards and 80% percentage. It's that they can make a play or two. And Jared Goff, if it's not there based on the play that was exactly called, he can't do that. And the league is becoming accustomed to playing that kind of guy. Think about it. Who's not that kind of guy? Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Jaden Daniels, all these guys. Jalen Hurts, the Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, everybody can move. Drake May, everybody can move. And you see that Jared Goff can. And this is not going to be sustainable past this last 2 or 3 years when they had a shot.
Well, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would it be sustainable this year and next year or the year after?
Because I'm saying this year. I
just don't understand that.
And that's a fair question. The reason why I said this year,
I don't understand that.
The reason I said this year, everybody ain't the Vikings. Everybody ain't the Eagles.
But the team, but there's a game plan there that tells you
right,
what you need to do.
You can have a game plan to want to beat the Warriors when you could, but you couldn't. What I'm saying is everybody isn't those two teams. But as the year goes by next year, you can start to formulate and you can start again. They're going to become accustomed to chasing down the dart, the
But I
hurts,
don't understand why you can't do that this year.
because everybody, I just don't. This is just me.
Okay,
I don't
just
feel
don't.
the teams are built this way. Like this, the reason why they've never lost 12 twice in a row, and like what is it now, 13 losses. They haven't lost 12 because you can't just go, well, that was the blueprint. Let's just try it.
No,
well,
well,
then they carve you up.
but a lot of it has to also do with the scheduling, who they've played, who they've beaten.
Right, I mean, well, if you go Eagles, Vikings, and Broncos
but
in
in
a row,
the playoffs, you're going to be playing better teams.
right?
Is
But
what
they
I'm
might
saying.
not be
So,
that.
So when you say that's why they haven't lost 2 in a row or whatever it is, I could look at the schedule and say, yeah, well, the schedule.
But that's my
can
point.
work for
Everybody
you.
can't do that.
Well,
so
but
that's
those are
the
teams
reason
that are.
why I'm saying
but
this
in the
year.
playoffs, when you have a time to game plan for somebody and you see a weakness, I just think it's bigger than that. And again, Dan Campbell.
Well, that's another whole story.
Yeah, Dan Campbell continues to be, the Lions' worst enemy. And the other thing too is, I know everybody just accepted it that he took over the play calling, right? They actually were with Johnny Morton, the new offensive coordinator. They were averaging 29 points a game when he made a change.
That was strange. I thought something was wrong with him. He's at the hospital. I mean, not even being funny.
Because like all of a sudden, I think they had the bad. What loss was that? They had a loss, and then he made the change.
The Vikings.
Like, one loss. Like before that, they were rolling. They were putting up points and all this other stuff, and they scored 52 against the Bears earlier this year, game 2. Remember, after struggling in game 1, so that was weird. 0 for 5, 4th down, not taking points, all kinds of stuff. That game. That was a defensive struggle. Take the points. This wasn't a blowout or a shootout.
No. And they were in it before they got the Eagles got that other touchdown. It was nip and tuck right there.
That didn't make any sense. Like I said to myself, this isn't a shootout. This is 2 teams defensively playing, and you just need to put up points every time you get close. And what were they? I said 0 for 5.
0 for 4th down.
On 4th down, and I think they were like.
They're terrible on 3rd down,
yeah,
too.
3 for 18 on 3rd and 4th down combined. 3 for 18. I mean, those are those situations. And I'm I picked them not to make the playoffs. And I feel even better after that game. And going to Philly and losing that game, it's not the end of the world. Right. But I'm just looking at the schedule and looking how they had no fight in that game. Like
that's where I disagree.
I don't think they did.
Well, here's what I mean.
Offensively,
there you go. I was going
to
say that defense showed up every single possession except for maybe one, and even then, you expected.
But even then, they only had, like I said, the 6 points going to the last 3 minutes. This is an offense with a lot of weapons. There's no reason they should have 6 points, and Sirianni gave them the last field goal. Who goes for it?
Well,
on 4th down?
On your own, when the team has been hurting and you give them points.
You're giving them
Your
I'm
defense
sorry.
have been that. If the pass interference doesn't happen, say Lions go down, score or whatever, ultimately win the game.
I'm not even convinced they do that. But
I'm just saying because that was a big it made no sense. Your defense have been playing spectacularly.
Punt the ball and let the defense play. And if the Lions get 2 scores in 3 minutes, then you don't deserve to win.
Yeah. Let me add this. This is my last point, real quick. On the Dan Campbell as we call him. Here's my concern, Lions fan. Obviously, I got him going far. The concern, the one thing, if I had a chance to do a sit down with him, or if I happen to run into him in the elevator, my thing is he has in each game, each quarter, each half, awareness. Meaning, if the ethos is we're tough, we go for it, we did it, that's great, right? You have your ethos, this is your team. But each game, each half, each quarter, each drive requires a different thought process. To your point, this is a defensive game. We're on the road. It's cold. It's, hey, let's take the 3. Because that's going to matter in this type of game. And every game is different. When you're playing a team you're going to blow out and you decide to go for it, let's put them out early. Okay, I get it.
Or the Eagles are scoring on a touchdown on every possession.
And you're like, man,
you go,
if we don't put up points,
a touchdown, we can't win this game.
That's why they do that against the Ravens. Remember they did it because I get it against the Ravens. You know it's going to be one of those games. He needs to be able to contextualize each game, each half, each drive, and he struggles with that. Like, if you're going to go for it, just straight up go for it. Don't do a fake punt on your own side of the ball. Just go for it then. Like, hey, we're going for it. This is one of our go for it plays, not a fake punt. So my issue with him, and I've said it off here, he concerns me in that he can't read each game sometimes. Each game is more, this is just who we are. okay, coach, but this is one of those games if we can beat the Eagles, that's a big win. Let's just kick the field goal. And I don't know if his players got to come up and say, coach, we cool with the 3. We cool with the 3 this time, coach.
Sometimes those factor in down the stretch later on in games.
And they change the Eagles because the Eagles go, starts to change. We got to score. Maybe they press and maybe they go for it too much. And it changes the game when you keep getting points versus walking away with nothing.